Hello and welcome to yet another YouTube video. Today I am giving you my best tips for building a second brain. To be precise, 3 tips I have learned the last couple of years while I have been building my second brain in a lot of different apps. And none of these tips are app specific. I am using Heptabase, but it might work just as well in something like Evernote, Obsidian, Notion, and so on. So inside of Heptabase, everything is stored inside of different whiteboards. So I have my areas whiteboards as well as my projects, resources, another area, and archive. And I am doing my weekly review right now, so it's a good time to actually do this video. Right now I am done with my note-taking apps, all note-taking apps video, which is coming, I think it is coming tomorrow. So I am filming this on Sunday the 24th. Anyways, I am done with this one and I will move this into my archives board. So every time I'm done with a project, I move it into archives, and that is something you should do, and I recommend doing this at least once a week, going through your note-taking app and checking on projects, seeing whether or not they are done, and moving them into archives. This way your view doesn't get cluttered. The second tips I have, or the first real tip I have, is to not have too much organization, to have a light way of organizing your notes. Most of the times you can rely on search to find different things when you are using a computer and an app. So as you can see, here is my resources boards. Inside of my resources board, I have a personal thoughts board where I store personal thoughts and ideas and just things I come up with. But I also have a lot, a lot of different notes inside of here. I think it's around 50 notes inside of here, and I could probably put a lot more of my notes into here. So I could put all of these notes into here. And just have them, because all of these are resources and things are linked together inside of here as well. Anyways, my point is to not have too much organization, because too much organizations often ends up with you having to spend too much time maintaining your system instead of actually doing the job or taking the notes or finishing that project. Your notes are actually just a tool to be able to accomplish the things you want. They might be a hobby, but I wouldn't spend too much time actually trying to maintain my system. Another tip I have, and this one is actually quite smart, if I can say so myself, it is to every time you visit a note, so I do a weekly review and I check on notes, and right now I'm checking on this one because I forgot that I had it. Another thing you can do is actually highlighting different things. So for example, I could put this into bold, I could underline it, I could change the color and highlight it this way. There are several different options to highlight inside of Heptabase, and I will probably use the green color because that's what I use to highlight inside of my bullet journal. So I could highlight something every time I am using the app. I won't highlight anything inside of here because the note is so small and it is easy to digest. It is just a couple of bullet points. But let's say I wanted to take a look at this. This is about employer branding. So I would probably highlight this. This is a big highlight, but I would highlight this, and I would also highlight this. So I tend to highlight things that I find really important inside of bigger notes. I have a few more, but I won't go too much into this right now. So I have a lot of different notes inside of here, and highlighting things makes it a lot easier for me to use different things and ideas. So every time you're in a note, do something with it, highlight, write something extra, make it clearer what the point is. Just do something every time you are inside of the note. The third tip I have is to capture a lot more. I would rather tell you to capture more and remove things instead of not capturing things and regretting it later. So capture everything you think resonated with you. And the way I do this is that Heptabase has something called uncategorized. So when I'm on my phone, I will just type notes, I will screenshot tweets, copy paste tweets, and so on, and everything will get into my uncategorized board. And every 3 or 4 days, I spend 5-6 minutes just to go through this and see whether or not a note deserves to stay inside of the app, or I will just delete them. But you have to capture things and actually build a knowledge base, especially with all of these AI and organizational AI coming. You have to have a lot of notes in order for something like this to work. So the way AI works inside of Heptabase is that you can ask it a question and it will resurface notes to answer that question. Mem has the same thing, MyReach has the same thing, and I believe that note-taking apps will go more into that direction. So capture a lot of things, remove things that doesn't resonate, but capture a lot. The last tip I have is to actually enjoy it. And this might sound a little bit stupid, but the point is that you have to enjoy note-taking. If you feel more stressed by taking notes and building a system, and you walk around stressing about whether or not your system is perfect, that's not the point of a second brain. The point of a second brain is to make your life easier, not stress you out more. You want to write down open loops, things, ongoing projects and loops you haven't closed in your projects, to be able to not think about them. And know that they are stored somewhere for you to go back to the day after, the week after, the month after, or so on. So if you get more stressed with building a second brain than you get relaxed, you might have a problem you need to look into. It is supposed to be fun, and it is supposed to lower your stress levels. That's the tips I have today. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again, as usual, quite soon.